The Burj Khalifa still lights up every night. The fountains still dance. The malls still gleam. But walk through the Dubai Mall on a Tuesday afternoon, and something feels deeply, disturbingly wrong. The stores are open. The staff are standing. The crowds are gone. Hotel workers are whispering things they were never supposed to say out loud. Taxi drivers are sitting idle for hours. Restaurant owners are slashing prices in half just to fill tables. And one construction worker, who asked to remain anonymous, said something that stopped me cold. "Brother, I haven't had a proper job in 4 months." Dubai is not what they show on Instagram anymore. So here's the question no one in the tourism industry wants you to ask. Is the world's most aggressively marketed luxury destination quietly, systematically emptying out? And more importantly, why is nobody talking about it? To understand how shocking this moment truly is, you need to understand what Dubai was supposed to be. In 2010, Dubai had fewer than 7 million tourists per year. By 2019, that number had exploded to over 16 million. The city was growing so fast that architects couldn't design buildings quickly enough. Dubai positioned itself as the crossroads of the entire world, sitting perfectly between Europe, Asia, and Africa. The world's tallest building, the world's largest mall, the world's busiest international airport. Emirates Airlines alone carried over 55 million passengers in a single year. Global celebrities flocked there. Billionaires bought penthouses sight unseen. Russian oligarchs treated it like a personal offshore paradise. India's new rich made it their second home. For a brief, dazzling moment, Dubai wasn't just a city. It was a symbol. A symbol that with enough money, enough ambition, and enough audacity, you could build a dream in the middle of a desert and make the entire world come to you. That symbol is now cracking. The breaking point didn't arrive as one single disaster. It came from something far more dangerous, a slow, invisible erosion happening on multiple fronts at once. Then in April 2024, it all became impossible to ignore. Dubai experienced the heaviest rainfall in 75 years, and the world watched in shock as one of the most expensive, most engineered cities on Earth simply flooded. Streets that cost millions per kilometer to build were completely submerged. The Dubai airport, the busiest international hub in the world, ground to a complete halt. Hundreds of flights canceled. Thousands of passengers stranded inside terminals. But here's what truly shattered the illusion. The images that went viral weren't just flooded roads. They were Lamborghinis and Range Rovers stranded in brown, murky water. Luxury apartment lobbies filling up like swimming pools. The city that claimed to represent the future looking completely, embarrassingly unprepared for a single rainstorm. The internet didn't laugh. It questioned, if Dubai can't handle rain, what else can it handle? That question opened a door that has been very, very hard to close since. Here's where it gets darker. The flooding wasn't the disease. It was just the symptom. Beneath the glittering surface, a set of deep structural problems have been quietly building for years, and the first one hits closest to home. Between 2022 and 2024, Dubai's average rent increased by over 40%. A basic one-bedroom apartment in a mid-tier area now costs more per month than a comparable apartment in London or New York. The expatriate population, which makes up over 88% of Dubai's total residents, is quietly packing up and leaving. Not dramatically, not in protest, just leaving, closing apartments. Joining WhatsApp groups called things like Dubai Exit Plan 2025. One group had 80 members in January. 6 months later, it had 3,000. And they are not being replaced fast enough. When the people who actually live there can no longer afford to stay, who exactly is spending money in the restaurants, the malls, the hotels? The foot traffic question answers itself. And it's answering itself badly. Dubai's original growth was fueled by 3 massive tourist segments. Russians who brought extraordinary cash and spent without hesitation. Indian high-net-worth travelers who came for shopping and luxury experiences. And Western mid-tier tourists attracted by the promise of affordable luxury. All 3 groups are now compromised simultaneously. Russian tourism collapsed after international sanctions following the war in Ukraine. One hotel manager in JBR put it bluntly, they used to have full floors of Russian guests every winter. Last season, a handful. Indian tourists, who made up the single largest source of visitors for years, are now looking at a new competitor, their own country. India's domestic tourism industry has exploded. The rise of Kerala, Rajasthan, and Lakshadweep as ultra-luxury destinations means the UAE is facing direct competition for the very audience it depended on most. And the Western traveler? They've rediscovered Southeast Asia, Thailand's reopening, Vietnam's rise, Japan's weakened yen, making it almost impossibly affordable. Why spend $500 a night in Dubai when you can spend $150 a night in Kyoto and walk away with a more authentic, more memorable experience? The value equation has been quietly, decisively rewritten. There's a problem Dubai can't engineer its way out of, and it's getting worse every year. Summer temperatures now regularly exceed 50 degrees Celsius. Outdoor tourism, outdoor dining, outdoor experiences, the backbone of any city's tourism appeal, are becoming physically impossible for 6 months of the year. Climate scientists say it will get worse, not better. For a city with no natural landscape, no forests, no mountains, no heritage old town to speak of when the outdoors becomes uninhabitable, what exactly is left? Air-conditioned malls. And the world has already seen those. But the story that keeps getting buried is the one being told by the people who build and run everything. Low-wage migrant workers from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and the Philippines, they're reporting wage theft, passport confiscation, and months without pay. After the Qatar World Cup exposed the Gulf's labor practices to a global audience, corporations and tourists are starting to quietly ask a question they never used to ask. Do I want to spend my money in a place built on this? That reputational cost is real, and it's compounding with every passing month. Here is where the story takes a turn that even most financial analysts aren't connecting. Dubai isn't just dealing with a tourism slowdown. Dubai is caught in a geopolitical trap of its own making. For years, Dubai's genius was its neutrality. Russians and Ukrainians both owned property there. Iranians and Israelis both did business there. Americans and Chinese both banked there. Dubai was the Switzerland of the Middle East. No matter what happened in the world, the money flowed to Dubai. Then the Abraham Accords changed everything. When the UAE normalized relations with Israel in 2020, it was hailed as a diplomatic triumph. Israeli tourists flooded in. The Tel Aviv-Dubai flight route became one of the fastest growing in the world. Then October 7th happened. Within weeks, boycott campaigns swept across Arab social media and South Asian platforms. Hashtags calling for Muslims to avoid Dubai reached hundreds of millions of impressions. Pakistani tourism dropped noticeably. Gulf Arab tourists, the wealthy Saudi, Kuwaiti, and Bahraini visitors who had historically been Dubai's most consistent high spenders, began choosing other destinations. For the first time in its modern history, Dubai was paying the price for taking a side. The neutrality shield that protected it for 2 decades had cracked. And without it, Dubai is just another expensive city in a hot desert, competing against a world that has suddenly realized it doesn't need to go there. So where does this leave Dubai? Here's the truth. Dubai is not dead. The infrastructure is still world-class. The ambition has not left the building. But the specific dream Dubai sold the world for 2 decades, that dream is under severe, compounding stress. The dream of affordable luxury? Gone, priced out by its own success. The dream of the neutral paradise? Cracked, fractured by a war it didn't start but couldn't escape. The dream of infinite growth in an infinite desert? Hitting the very real limits of heat, water, and human sustainability. And the workers who build every inch of that skyline, who staff every hotel and drive every car and clean every lobby, they are telling a story that no amount of influencer marketing can fully silence. Something has changed. Something is hollow. Something that once felt inevitable now feels fragile. So here's the question I'll leave you with. If Dubai, the most aggressively engineered, most lavishly funded, most meticulously branded city in human history, if even Dubai can start to crack under the weight of its own contradictions, what does that tell us about every other city, every other economy, every other dream built on borrowed momentum and borrowed time? Is Dubai a warning? Or is it simply the first chapter in a story we haven't finished reading yet? Drop your answer in the comments. I genuinely want to know, is Dubai fixable? Or is this the beginning of a long, slow decline the world will watch in slow motion? Subscribe now, because the next video will make this one look like a warm-up.